here today visiting with Roanoke County Fire and Rescue Chief Steve Simon. Thank you for talking with me today.
My pleasure.
This is a very special day to talk with you because we're going to talk about your retirement.
Yes, something I probably don't like talking about.
Yeah. Well, we don't either. But you've been with Roanoke County Fire and Rescue for 26 years now and set to retire. How do you feel about that?
I feel good now. I think the department's in a good place. I felt very apprehensive when I started thinking about this. I always knew I would be retiring around this time. This is my 35th year in public safety. Roanoke County was my third home, and it was my final home. I knew that was going to be that. So it's time. It's good for change, and I think the organization is strong, and they'll do great things after I'm gone.
So what inspired you to go into a career in public safety?
You know, when I was younger, I grew up, my parents worked shift work, and I was the youngest, and I had a lot of opportunities to be by myself, and my parents we had a fire station close by. My parents would always say, if there was ever a problem, go up to the fire station. And I can remember actually going up there when I was younger, my bike might break, and the firemen used to help me put the chain back on it or get the tires pumped up mainly. Things like that, so it was always a safe place for me. And then when I was in high school, went to high school in the Northern Virginia area, the Fairfax County firefighters would come up and run on the track, and I might be daydreaming in class, and I'd look out and I'd say, wow, that's a pretty cool job. They get to work out while they're going on calls and stuff like that. So that really piqued my interest into it, and I started got my paramedic certification and started going that route. So that sort of put me on my pathway to where I'm at now.
Okay, it's interesting. Good stories. Yeah. Now talk a little bit about the department. How has it evolved over the last 26 years that you've been here? You know,
it's changed greatly. I was with Roanoke City prior coming to Roanoke County, and I knew Roanoke County was more of a rural area. I started out in the Prince William County, which was very similar to Roanoke County, a little bit more populated. With Roanoke County, at the time, there was only about 55 employees in the fire rescue department. It was predominantly covered by the volunteers and a volunteer-based system, which worked. It worked very effectively, but over time, those available times for volunteers was limited. People had to go, two household incomes started, the economy impacted, and fewer people wanted to volunteer, which I do think is a tragedy in our community, because so many nonprofits rely on volunteers, from recreation clubs to churches to the schools and then to the volunteer fire rescue organizations. And less people started volunteering. So when I started, I was about the 55th employee. And now we're approved for 203 employees, and with our part-time staff, we're upwards of almost 250 employees. So we've had to take on, when I say we, the county has had to take on, because we have to provide the services, so they've had to hire more what we call paid full-time staff. We call them career staff, had to hire more career staff. And I just worked through the system up through the ranks during that time.
You've really been instrumental over the last year in leading the county's effort, and how our organization as Roanoke County responds, how we take care of our employees, and what's that been like? Maybe a most memorable moment throughout this past year?
I look at the COVID experience as a large emergency incident. And this is the longest one that I've ever been involved with most people in our nation. I don't think we can look at our COVID pandemic until we look back at World War II, where the whole nation was ramped up in the defense. A different virus, a different enemy, but we've had to mobilize so much. The thing that we've done so effectively in Roanoke County, we've had a long history of emergency management. And when I became chief, I went ahead and reinstituted that emphasis that we actually put more people in the emergency management role. So when this happened, pandemic came, in late February, we started from Fire Rescue advocating that this is going to be bad and we need to start preparing, and our county administrator and the board allowed us from fire rescue to implement an incident management system. And that put all of us in an emergency response mode to make sure we could provide services to our citizens and keep government running, continuity of services. And I think that's where I'm one of the most proudest things, because not from me, not from our department, from all the other departments. And right now we're working with the health department, advocating how we go ahead and get the vaccinations rolled out. We're setting up a regional partnership amongst the regional fire chiefs. We've done just leaps and bounds, and when you look at other parts of the country and other parts of the state, I'm very proud to say that we're ahead of all of that. But we thought something like this could happen, and we prepared for it, but we prepare for emergencies, and we always were ready. And that's where I'm somewhat most proud of the department and of the staff and of the employees of the county.
Sure, sure. It's been a very memorable time. Yes.
Yes. Now,
just thinking about your career in general, what do you think has been your greatest accomplishment?
That's so many of the things that I've been able to do has been helpful from other people, the support of other people, and that's just a nurturing environment. I've been very fortunate. When I thought about that question, when you asked me about it last week, and I've really had to delve into it, and I guess I'm most proud of my ability I've been able to help people. From as a paramedic firefighter, where I've had a cardiac save, where that person came back down to the fire station to thank me and had a productive life, many years, the training that I was able to have, the tools that I was able to have to save that person's life. That's one memorable moment. But all the other areas of helping people and watching our fire rescue employees and volunteers change people's lives for the better. That's a good feeling, and that's one of those things that I can look back and say, yeah, was my career worthwhile? And I'd like to say, yeah, we were able to help people.
That's great. Now, talk about your future plans.
The fire service, like I said, 26, almost going on 27 years in the county, 35 overall. I've had an opportunity to do a lot of different things. One of the things that I'm going to be doing, I have a week off between careers or professions. I'll be starting as the Executive Director of Western Virginia EMS Council, and that EMS Council supports emergency medical services and fire rescue departments that provide EMS and local governments in a very wide region in Southwest Virginia in planning and training and helping them mitigate some of the challenges that they face, helping local government. So that's something that I'll still be involved in, emergency medical services, from a training, from a strategic planning stand, from helping providers provide services to the public. And so I still will be involved. My phone just won't go off at 2 in the morning. I won't be getting called in hopefully on a Saturday or Sunday, because I'll be more in the background helping those first responders provide those services. So I feel good about that, and it's something that I can still contribute to, and I'm looking forward to that.
And let me ask too, you have a lot of community involvement, not just working with the county, but outside. I know you're big into soccer. Talk a little bit about your community involvement too.
I got involved as volunteering. It was just ingrained in me as a young person from my parents. I can remember I had 2 older brothers, so when there ever was a baseball or football or band, I got dragged along to help do whatever needed to be done as my father and mother volunteered. If that was cutting the grass at the church, to doing fundraisers, paper drives. So it was instilled in me at a young age. I carried that on as my adult. I'm very active in the community. Mostly now still involved with Valley AFC Soccer. We're the largest soccer club in Southwest Virginia. So I think it's important to be providing service within where you can. And I've always had that, and I hope my legacy is that my children will do the same thing, because the schools need those volunteers. The recreation programs need those volunteer coaches. And I'd like to think that that's something that I've given back to the community, because the community has been giving back to me.
Giving back service is just something that's been ingrained in you.
Yes.
Essentially. That's great. I know the community really appreciates all your volunteer work as well. So again, going back to your career, what do you think you'll miss the most?
Easily, interaction with the people. I love interacting with the public. even during COVID, I've still been going out and meeting. I've had breakfast meetings. I've had, physically distancing.
Sure.
We have Zoom meetings with all the different organizations, the Kiwanis, the Lions, the neighborhood groups, all of that. I enjoy representing the county. I enjoy representing the fire rescue, men and women of the fire rescue department who do a wonderful job. I'll miss interacting with the other departments, the other counties, but mostly I'll miss hearing from all of the citizens that write me letters, send me emails, pick up the phone and call me and say, I just want to let you know how good your folks treated me today. And having the ability to see there is a problem, and that's one reason why I took the chance to get promoted and work my way up through the organization, because at some level you can't fix a problem, but you continue working at it and you have the ability to fix that problem, and that's what I'm very proud of. And I'll miss.
I'm sure. Well, I can tell you, I've worked with you for a number of years, and it's been a pleasure working with you. I know everyone in Roanoke County will certainly miss you, and I'm sure everyone in the department is very appreciative of the leadership you've given over the years. So we certainly wish you the very best and hope that we still have these encounters with you when you're in your future job or out in the community.
I do
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you very much.
Sure.